don't know if you remember this, but a couple years ago in the women's class, I was chasing Hannah Hodges, and it was a white flag lap. I spent my whole race trying to find a way around her, and I just sent the finish line about a little bit too far than I should have, and blew my left hand off the handlebars because I jumped so far.
I do remember.
I wouldn't recommend doing that. I saw someone do that yesterday. I wouldn't recommend doing that.
And here we go, 250 Pro Sport. The 25, Trevin Nelson. 27, Cole Bradford, Nicholas Hunt, Bryce Shelley, Patrick Murphy, Benjamin Garib, Reagan Cochran, Daxton Bennick. Let's see what he can do. Zach Oathmetz, Christopher Blackmer, Leo Tucker, Jack Winland, as well as Hayden Hoover, Jackson Pascal, Liam Langer, Kimball Jett, Nate Mason, Brent Burrows, Kyle Smith, as well as the 132 of Ty Casey, Dylan Rempel, Grant Hoffman, as well as the 166 of Wyatt Reimer, Eddie Norrad Jr., the 222 of Caden Smith, the 238 of Danger Boy Hayden Deegan, as well as the 281 of Corey Carson, the 315 of Danny Perry, the 319 of Quentin. How did we say it? How did we say it? The last name. We had it dialed the other day. The Kawasaki ride. Quentin going with it. On the number 319, the number 371 of Andrew Wallace, the 411 of Crockett Myers, the 424 of Nolan Dickerson, the 448 of Keegan Rowley, the 537 of Travis Mecking, Corey Rogers, as well as Justin Wolf, Landon Arburster, Nicholas Inman, Aiden Shive, and Derek Leatherman. And that is your starting gate for the 250 board.
Well, Mikey, you're improving your lap time because you did it in one lap this time, but it was also during the Pro Sport, so you're getting quicker as well.
Hey, how much
238, Hayden Deegan out front leading the way here on lap number 1. You're in it for the long haul, we know, and it is a Blue Crew train as they work their way through on this first lap. Deegan, of course, out front on the 238 machine, coming through in that number 2 position, trying to get an ID on him right now. Can't read that plate from all the way out here. It looks like that was Benjamin Grieb. Didn't want to make that call till we saw Patrick Murphy in the number 3 position. Now, Dax Bennick, did he make the move? There comes Dax right now on the 41 machine. Goes around the outside. Knew he'd been fishing a couple times. Comes up empty that time. Hits the reset button. Dax Bennick on the 41 trying to make that move into the 3rd place right now. Goes side by side with Murphy, I believe that is.
Yeah, correct. Murphy right in front of him right now as Dax Bennick showed him that front wheel. He knows he's there. No, make no mistake about it. Benjamin Garib up in the 2 spot. Shelley back in 5th. Shelley not too far from it right now either.
Garib in good position right now, gets the shadow, the 238 of Deegan. Get a good look at his line. There comes the move. Dax Bennick, yep, cuts back to the inside, runs him just a bit wide, takes control of the race line. That's textbook pass right there, 101.
I don't think Patrick Murphy's done yet.
No, I'm not going to say he's done.
Not.
I'm saying he used the momentum correctly.
Oh,
he
absolutely.
took the entire control of the race line. It was a great move. Patrick Murphy not just going to lay down and let him have it.
Absolutely not. How awesome is the top 5 all being Yamahas? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Says a lot about the ability for these guys to put the power to the ground. They always get good starts. If you look every week on the Outdoor Nationals, Justin Cooper almost notorious for his whole shot. So Yamaha having those machines dialed, no question.
No doubt about it. As we're watching Dax Bennick, Patrick Murphy on screen, the battle for the number 3 spot. Call it the number 2 spot. They're right there. They're not far off the pace. Whoo, little hiccup right there by Patrick Murphy, but able to get back on it.
Yeah, that gives us a change up for sure. Now Deegan puts Garib in the number 2 spot, but Dax Bennick now shows in 3rd. Murphy running off the track right there, puts him in the number 4 position.
I'm looking at Bryce Shelley. That's who that was. Let's see, is the number 34, Bryce Shelley was on him. So yeah,
okay, Bryce was the one that ran off the track. Very good.
Yeah. But nonetheless, man, Hayden Deegan out front, trying to check out here. Turns a 145.5. Benjamin Garib a 146, and Dax Bennick a 145.8.
Aiden Shive on the move right now as well. He put down some good laps. He's really going to work right now. I believe that's Shelley ahead of him right now with that white fender. Is it on the 34?
No, that's Patrick Murphy. That's
Murphy's
right ahead of him.
The white fender, yeah.
And Bryce Shelley is right ahead of Patrick Murphy. We have a 3-racer battle right here going around.
No, wow. Yamaha, the number 34 Yamaha.
You know, he's the one on the Yamaha.
And they're wearing similar gear, too. That doesn't help either. Similar. Oh, Dax Bennick goes down.
Dax Bennick loses the front end right there.
Aiden Shive around him. Crockett Myers.
Oh, wow, and you
Cole
see that
Bradford.
just small tip over, gets up quick, doesn't look like the bike is bent whatsoever. Took just a second to get it fired and gave up a couple spots.
Little more time, though. Outdoor motocross outdoor track. Going to have a little more time to catch back up with these guys, but certainly a big mistake right there.
Yeah, and Pro Sport longer, running a longer moto to start with. So he's going to have time to go back to work. But when you're talking about this caliber rider, and holy cow, look at this battle between Murphy and Shelley.
Heavyweight battle right there.
There comes Haiden Shive. He's going to take advantage of this. I'm telling you right now, these guys are locked in a battle. Shive sitting back there watching, waiting for a mistake. He's going to pounce like a cat.
Murphy is stuck right now. He is trying to make some aggressive passes on Bryce Shelley, but he's got Haiden Shive right behind him, right all over him, trying to make a pass work. So he's kind of stuck in the middle. He's got to find part of the track where he knows he's faster on and make that pass happen and make it stick, because if not, he makes a slight mistake and actually has to roll one of the step-ups. That lets Shive by.
That's that small mistake we talk about, Jordan, and holy cow. Shive makes Murphy.
That is a corner of mistakes right there. That was one after another.
That was a series of mistakes by two different riders, and the guy that comes out winning on that one's going to end up being Shive. Made a big mistake. Murphy comes through and then ends up on the ground. Unbelievable.
That right there was Haiden Shive trying to take a breath.
Yes.
I know I got that pass. Makes a slight mistake. And Patrick Murphy sees that. He tries to get around him, goes, ooh, thank you for that easy pass back, and ends up making a bigger mistake himself.
Wow, absolutely incredible. And all the time, Ben Garib sitting there in that number 2 spot away from the trouble. Deegan putting in good lap after good lap. And look at that. Garib and Deegan last time around both on a 145. 145.3 versus 145.7.
Wild stuff.
What? You know,
Shive right there. Christmas came early for him right there. The little woo, and then the mistake right in front of him, able to inherit it. But man, the
didn't even have to unwrap it.
Yeah, didn't even have to unwrap it, man. It was ready there for you. Shive has been in the fight all week, Megawatt.
Yes.
Supercross track, he's been that guy that comes in and like a heavyweight boxer, like, all right, let's go, boys. I'm going to take this team to this Kawasaki ride and stick it to you.
Yeah, you were exposed to him earlier this summer. You've seen him ride before. Yeah. And let me tell you something. There's one word to describe him. I mean, it'd be tenacious. You know,
tenacious is right.
He's willing to hang it out there. If he needs to cross the line to make that pass, he'll take that chance.
I definitely think, if I'm not mistaken, he was training with the Lawrence brothers for a little bit, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
That was a major help. If I had to imagine, that was a major help for him to help him pick up, a second or two. But quick check-in on lap times. Dax Bennett is back up to 7th.
And turned a 159, so you know that's going to get faster. He's going to start clicking them off here. He was only a second back from Cole Bradford in that 9 spot.
You know, I've got to wonder, he dipped that bar in pretty deep. Is there something clogging? Is there some dirt or something in there in one of the levers, maybe in the throttle or something? He dug that thing in pretty deep, picked it up kind of slow. Didn't look bent. The bike did not look bent. So.
He picked it up in a decent speed. It just took the bike a little bit to start.
Had to get it to fire.
Started again, Yeah. That's the only problem with the buttons.
Yeah.
If it don't start, you can't do nothing about it. You just have to sit there and let it crank. But let me tell you, if you fall out of Pro National in a 35-minute moto and it's hot and you can just click that button instead of having to start it, it makes a world of difference right there.
Yeah, but you're in trouble when you hit the button and it does nothing.
So
you're in trouble.
You better hope you're somewhere around a hill and you can try and bump start it, because if not, it's not going anywhere. You're going to have to push that off the track.
So on the 4th lap, Haiden Deegan starts to take command not only on the track but of the lap times. This time 1.2 seconds quicker last time around. Now he opens that gap up just a little more. Still 1.2 seconds quicker as they go out on lap number 5.
Battle right there between, I believe it was Daxton Bennett and Quentin. Quentin checks in the 5 spot. And that is Dax Bennett. That was behind him, still is. That's your battle on screen.
Just picked up another spot. Dax is running a 148. Quentin ahead of him a 149. Haiden ahead of him a 149. So definitely Dax has the speed, starting to get it gathered back up.
He does have the speed, but right now what he's kind of running into, the farther he gets up, the quicker everybody is, so the harder it is to make a pass happen. So he's trying to make something happen right now, but it's tough because we all know that this what is his name? Quentin?
Quentin.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. QP, yeah. We all.
Is that what he was saying yesterday? That what Rodney was saying? Pruganiers?
Pruganiers, I'm going with it.
Yep.
I think that's right.
That sounds good, but we all know that Quentin is fast.
Oh, man.
So we know Dax is struggling, because Dax actually was. He raced with him in the one A Moto. He was the one who had to get around to get that championship that Dax got. So he knows all too well that this kid's extremely fast and hard to pass.
Listen, he led his final moto over there all the way to the last lap, and him and Deegan didn't come together, but they got into the same race line. And this kid's real. This kid's only 16 years old over here making a statement.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Bud Racing back Cowie, 16 years old, and Dax Bennick. Man, and we've been watching this on Racer TV for what seems like hours. Dax Bennick working the track inside, outside, just looking for opportunity, refusing to play follow the leader, and he's like, what the heck have I got to do to get around this kid?
Right now we have the battle of the young kids. Dax is 16, Haiden is 16.
Boom.
They're all super young kids. We got a bright future ahead of them. This A class is looking harder and harder every year at the Nationals.
Dax just going to work on him right now, inside, outside, just really applying the pressure in a nice, smooth manner. He's letting this thing come to him. Prugani's got just a little bit of advantage right there. Dax lost some drive, but here's the thing. Dax is in control of this one. He's the one applying the pressure. There's nobody behind him right now, so the race is all about Prugani's. That's who he's focusing on right now.
You're looking at the track and you see a ton of different line choices, but what you don't see is how rough these lines are. You're coming through them and they're super choppy, and it's hard to make passes. You might have a good rut, but it's farther out, or you could just suck it up and deal with a super choppy rut that might not be as fast. It's very difficult to pass right now.
Yeah, you can't see the end of a lot of these ruts. You can't see the end of a lot of these berm corners. And like you said, they'll get a hook or they'll get some chatter in the end of it. And you think you're in a great line halfway through, you realize you're not.
You watch close enough and you can see the back wheel bouncing up and down in all these ruts. So it's definitely hard to pass right now. Dax Bennett is all over the track trying to make a pass happen.
See what happens here when they get into the split line section. Different line choices right there. Bennick coming in on him. Oh, wow. Flirting with it. Here's the front wheel. Here we go.
I think if Dax didn't make that slight mistake of dabbing his foot, I think it would have been even closer.
That may be true. He's been fishing on this hill 3 or 4 times today. Wow. Pruganiers gets the drive he needed right there. Dax had him set up. Here we go. Back to the inside now.
A little dab
like
right
you're
there.
Talking about that chatter in the end of that
small
rut.
mistakes take up the most time, and the best way you find that out is go race Arena Cross and see you don't make it in by a couple tenths. And all that is chopping the throttle or dabbing your foot. It's the small mistakes that cost the most amount of time.
Wow. Look at this. Quintin has weathered the storm right now. He has taken everything Dax could throw at him. But I believe only 7 laps in, Dax taking another look at it. He knows where he's quicker. He knows where he can close the gap at. Problem is, we have to get in position to do that. You have to close the gap before you pull the trigger.
Right now, I'm thinking this is probably going to hurt Dax quite a bit more in the championship run than anything else, which is unfortunate, but he still has 2 more classes. So right now, he just needs to do the best that he can, and remember, he's got 2 more A motos that he can absolutely win.
And the guy out there doing work right now, Haiden Deegan, has put in lap after lap, so consistent, 147.1. But my hat's off to Ben Garib. Garib, man, that guy's taking, look what he's turning. He's turning a 147.5 here at the end of this one as well, man. That is a fantastic moto. There comes Danger Boy right now. You see the 238 going right past us. Garib in tow right here. Here he comes. Great ride by the number 39 machine.
Yeah, both of them as well have the 145s as their fastest lap time. A 145.3 for Haiden, a 145.7 for Benjamin Garib. So in the flow of the track now, 8 laps in for Danger Boy in that 147, 148 mark. Benjamin Garib checking up a little bit. 7.5 seconds is a gap between first and second.
All right, I think he might be wearing down a little bit. I think that crash might be wearing on Dax just a little bit, whatever the effects of it might have been, starting to catch up with him just a touch. Throttle back just a bit. Quintin able to open up that gap.
But Quentin is actually coming up on the backside of Haiden Shive. Haiden Shive
Yes.
is right in that shot.
Oh, no
so
question.
we have another battle coming up here shortly. I will say about Haiden Shive, though, this corner right in front of us, he is the only one that I'm seeing doing a different line choice. He is going wide and swinging his back end around and getting the power to the ground extremely quickly. I'm liking the different line choice.
Oh, yeah, that line works good. Dax tried to use it a couple times, but unfortunately, with Quentin in the good race line feeding a little roost, it just didn't play out.
That's a line to use when you've already got your position solidified. That is probably not the best one when you're trying to make some time up and make a pass.
Exactly.
Quentin going after Haiden Shive right here on Racer TV. Shive on that outside line. And Quentin shaves a little off right there.
Slight mistake from Haiden Shive right there. I don't know if you saw his bike kind of dip down a little bit. And that just almost possibly allowed Quentin to make that pass on Haiden Shive.
Look how collected Prugniers is. Again, this kid's 16 years old. Now, these kids aren't much older, all similar age, but new to the event, new to a lot of this competition, 16 years old.
And riding like a grown man.
Absolutely, man.
Like a grown man.
Absolutely.
That was our second place.
Oh, that's
that's Garib. Yep. Yeah, that's Ben Garib.
So that bumps Bryce Shelley up to second, Haiden Shive up to third, Quentin up to fourth, and Dax Bennett into fifth. So it's maybe looking somewhat decent for Dax.
What a good drive right there. Gonna take.
Listen, that was cornering textbook 101 right there. Wow, Quentin come down in there, kept the leg high, kept the momentum up, elbow pointed, went right inside, went right around the outside, used the power, made the pass. Fantastic move.
I was watching that corner last lap. That inside is getting gnarly deep right now. You can see them going through it, getting a little off balance, maybe dabbing their foot a couple times. This is pro class. When you see the pro class riders doing that, you know that rut is deep and gnarly.
No doubt. So bummed out right now for Ben Garib. Had a dream ride going on. Had a fantastic ride going, setting himself up in great position, and now really going to have some work to do.
Tough break for him. Haiden Deegan still doing his thing out front. Haiden Deegan with a lot of breathing room now. 21.5 seconds is the gap between him and Bryce Shelley. QP, Quentin in the 3 spot. Haiden Shive in 4th in that battle. Dax Bennett, after checking up a bit, settling into that 5 position. Now 4.5 seconds back. 6th, Trevin Nelson. Christopher Blackmer in the 7th spot. Nate Mason 8th. 9th place is Jackson Pascal. And Patrick Murphy, the number 35 Yamaha, rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, and how about those last two guys you mentioned there? Jackson Pascal and Nate Mason quietly working their way up. Those guys were back outside the top 15, I believe. We've been talking about Shelley. We've been talking about Deegan and these guys. But Nate Mason and Pascal doing a fantastic job, quietly putting themselves inside the top 10, keeping their drive alive.
That's it. That's exactly right. 250 Pro Sport. Moving right along here. Haiden Deegan checks in. 10 laps completed.
Racer TV is still currently following Quentin, but in that wide shot that they just did right there, I saw a little bit of the number 34. I think Quentin's catching up to Bryce Shelley at a decent rate right now, because I want to say that gap was about 6 seconds last lap. It's now down to 3.
You're absolutely right. Right there he is. You just saw Shelley out of the picture, and Quentin comes right into the same frame. Here we go. Going to be game on here in just a second,
yeah.
Jordan. No question about that. Quentin absolutely relentless, and I haven't seen him get tired yet. He seems to be physical, seems to be in shape.
No, he has definitely not gotten tired yet, but a white flag.
No. Well, it looks like he has the flagger has it in his hand. So
I think this is going to be a 12-lap race, if I had to guess.
I'm with you.
But that is still a lot of time left for possibly Quentin to get this next position, get past around Bryce Shelley, or make a mistake. We've seen several riders make small mistakes that cost them big time.
We've seen what one straightaway can do.
Oh, yeah,
at the end of a race. So, yeah, you're talking all kinds of. There it is. Danger Boy comes through. White flag is out. One to go.
All right. Quentin, I got to work. Bryce Shelley in the sights, in the crosshairs. Can he make it happen? Does he have enough time? Does he have enough track between him and the checkered flag to make it happen?
Exactly. I almost feel guilty. We haven't given Deegan a lot of airtime, but the guy's been flawless. The guy's been out front. Flawless. He hasn't been challenged. He hasn't made a bobble. He hasn't done. All he's done is put in perfect laps.
Still sub 150.
Yeah.
On his lap time
incredible. 149 here on this last lap, as you're talking about.
I think Hayden's perfectly okay with where he's at, how his race is going. I think he'll deal with not quite as much airtime.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. On screen right there, the 238. See some of that flawless riding he's been doing. Knock on wood. We've had a few announcer jinxes this week.
Nate Mason made his way past Jackson Pascal. Mason now up into the number 8 spot. So, again, well outside the top 15 on the start. Nate just quietly put in some good laps, chipped away. You know what? Increases his chance throughout the rest of the week right there.
Creating
every spot.
Yep. Creating opportunity.
Opportunity. That's all we need is opportunity. That's all you're going to get. The rest is up to you. You're not guaranteed anything.
I'm going to jump in here real quick. Go back to the battle between Bryce Shelley and Quentin. It's now down to about a little over a second and a half.
Let's go.
I was told that I should be saying hello to Hannah. I hope your basketball practice and games are going great. I was talking to your dad about that. I hope you're having a good day. I will definitely see you soon.
Oh, no, it's fine, Hannah. Mikey Wayne's up here, her uncle.
Listen, you use bougie. You use the term bougie. She had to send you a text. I got a 13-year-old telling you how to get down. So, listen, man. All right, you've been axed, Uncle Mikey.
I said, can I say bet? Can I say no cap? She's like, that would be cool. And I'm like, I'm not saying that. I'm a grown-up. I'm a grown-up.
Checkered flag is out for Haiden Deegan. We're now looking at the battle once again between Bryce Shelley and Quentin. It is close. We'll see. We'll see what he can make happen.
Bottom line is, I cannot wait to watch these guys again.
Yeah.
I mean, this was wild. So many different storylines, so many different scenarios between these guys and the battles that they had right there, setting the bar high.
Well, this